Good evening, George. I'm trying to show you the multiple time frames using the paint the trend strategy. To start with, I have highlighted here, okay? These are time frames that are in the 15-minute chart, okay? Firstly, you're going to see anchor bars here, here, here. I hope you can see these here. All the highlighted ones, I'm doing my best to try and draw. All these highlighted ones are either square or circle. A red circle is a lower high, lower high, lower high, and a green circle is a higher high, and a green square is a higher low, and a red square is a lower low. You can see there, lower low, okay? On the 15-minute time frame. So all these points here are on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame anchor. And these are anchors, okay? Anchors. So, that said, if we were to be looking at a 15-minute time frame, this area here, all this area here in red would be in red. So all these bars would be in red. So again, this area would be in red. This area would be in green. This area would be in red. All in the 15-minute time chart. The white area, right here and here, is what I call the transition period, where as we come from a red downward trend with lower anchors, we move into a ultimately green area, but we're unknown. Remember, to become green, we have to have one higher high and one higher low, and then we paint backwards. Okay, we paint backwards. So ultimately, in real time, this here is in red, but only when we get to this point do we retrospectively go backwards and paint it green. Green. So during this period, we are in no man's land. We're not sure which way it's going to go, because it could go down, in which case this point would be a lower low and the downward trend would continue like that. But we don't know that. So for the now, we are in no man's land. So that happens here and that happens here, and it's called the transition period. Okay? So how do we protect ourselves against that? Well, I figure that if we go zoom in, and now we open up a 5-minute chart. So this is now a 5-minute chart, and this is what all these bars here are, all 5-minute charts, okay? Now, the 5-minute chart has got its anchors as well. There, 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 there. But we don't know what color these are, because unfortunately the iteration story is not conducive that I can go backwards in time to check. But I've marked the color of what would be in the 5-minute chart. So this would be green, red. This would be green. This would be red. This would be green. This would be red. This would be green. And all this would be red. This would be green. There's little bits here. And this would be red. Okay? Again, these are drawn on lower lows. There they are, lower highs and lower lows for the downward trend in the 5-minute chart. These would be higher highs there and higher lows there for the 5-minute chart depicting green, 2 of them. Remember, we need 2 in a row, so there would be the 1. So that's the 1 and 1. That's 2. So the point is, how does this all come together? Well, as we move in the 15-minute chart, all this here would be in red. And when we get to this transition period here, sorry, there like that, it actually turns out to be a reversal into green. Okay? But it's only at this point here that we realize that this is a reversal and we've lost all this gain. So how do we protect ourselves? Well, if we were to somehow see in 2 time frames the colors that were going on, we would know that the green would start painting from here. Because here's the second, there's the first higher high and the second higher anchor from these 2 here. So this point here, this would be painted green. Actually, the green would be painted from here, but retrospectively. But in real time, that paint would start here. So basically, we would know at this point that this transition period actually turns green here. If we could get the time frame, I wouldn't know what it was. As against here, when we get the second one and it paints back. So we gain a lot. Not only do we gain that much in price action, which could be quite a bit, but we also do it in time. So that is the key. On this side, sorry, this side, let me redraw that. On this side, on this transition period, it's much, much, much better. We know that up until this point, it's green on the 15-minute, okay? Because all of it's here is 15 minutes. This is all higher highs. We have a higher high, higher high, so it's all up. But when we get to this point here, we have a lower low and a lower low, sorry, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. So in the 5-minute time frame, this entire area here is red. So when we come into the larger time frame as a white, right here, we know that all this is red. It's already turned. Remember, in the larger time frame, we can only do so when we have 2 anchors. The first one is here and the second one is here. So only at this point here do we know that this turns red. Whereas if we look at the 5-minute chart, it turns red here. So all this here, we could have salvaged and known ahead of time that we are in a reversal. How do we draw that? Well, very simple. If we are saying that the red in the bigger time frame and the red in the smaller time frame is incongruous, they're congruous, they're together, there's no conflict, we keep them and we paint them red. However, when there's conflict, like here, and here, and here, and here, and conflict means that when there is a different color in the different time frames, 5-minute being green, up, but 15-minute being down, 15-minute being down because it's red, but 5-minute up, we can paint those bars white, telling us that there's behind the scenes a change in direction. I hope that makes sense.